Hello there, I'm Scotty, and you're not. And welcome to the official start of my Edgar Wright review series. And we are starting with Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Came out the same year as the Dawn of the Dead remake. I don't know if this came out before or after, but this plays on that zombie sub-genre and goes with it. And honestly, the performances of its two main stars, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, are what really works with this. And the direction of Edgar Wright. You know, Universal Studios didn't want Nick Frost to be in this. They wanted to cast someone else. But Simon Pegg went to bat for him. And so, yeah, it really works. They play off each other very well. You could tell they're actually friends in real life. They play off each other very well. And, also to note is the style that Edgar Wright uses, where it's kind of a commentary where people are just slow and sluggish, and they're already sort of like zombies because they're just living their mundane lives and going about their everyday. And then when it happens, it's so much so that when the outbreak happens, Shaun doesn't even notice, and there's these tracking shots that follow him from place to place, where you see things in the background, and you have to, oh, what is that? And you notice things. There's a scene when they go to the pub, as Shaun is going in. There's this couple who appears to be making out, but it could be something more. And when they leave, it turns out that it's a zombie eating someone. Although they've just been standing there the whole night, I don't know. But yeah, it's very well done. This is the first part of the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, with this being the red strawberry, as they would say, strawberry. So yeah, Shaun is having problems with his girlfriend. She's sick of going to the same places over and over again. It's supposed to be their anniversary, and he forgot to book the place, and so he messes up. I would like to note that the place he calls up is called Fulci's. Most likely named after Lucio Fulci, who is the Italian zombie king comparison to George Romero, who they do kind of play off of later in the film. Yeah. So she breaks up with him, and then the zombie stuff happens, and he decides he's got to do certain things. He's supposed to go see his mother, and so Bill Nighy plays his stepdad. But then when I heard his mom's voice over the phone message, the answering machine, I'm like, I know that voice, but I can't. You hear a voice, and think, I know that voice, but I can't picture it. I go back to WandaVision when you hear Randall Park's voice. I couldn't picture it. Like, I know that voice. And my mom's like, yes, you do. And I'm like, what is that voice? Until you see him, and you're like, Henry Wu. Or Jimmy Woo, excuse me. I think Henry Wu is Jurassic Park, but Jimmy Woo. And so you hear that voice. I'm like, I know that voice. Like, it should be telling me something. I can't picture it. And then, when they decide, okay, we're going to go do this, we're going to get my mom, we're going to kill Philip because he's been bitten, he's infected. Their roommate was bitten and infected, and they find him zombified. And so they go, they're like, okay, we're going to get my mom, we're going to kill Philip. And they play it out several times. We're going to get your mom, kill Philip, and we're going to go, and we're going to go to Liz's place, and we're going to hide out there, have a cup of tea. Liz's face, I'm almost to a place where I can smoke. Okay, so we're going to go get my mom, kill Philip. Sorry, Philip. Go to Liz's place, get them, come back here. Here, it's not safe here. Fine. We're going to go to my mom's place. We're going to get my mom. We're going to kill Philip. Sorry, Philip. We're going to go to We're going to go to Liz's place. We're going to get Liz. We're going to go to Winchester, have ourselves a pint, and wait for it all to blow over. Yeah. So, They go to the place, and then we see the mom, and I went, Harriet Jones, Prime Minister. We know who you are. Yes, we know who you are. Yes, it's Harriet Jones, Prime Minister from Doctor Who. I'm like, it's one of those things where you know the voice, and once you find out who it is, you kick yourself in the ass. And yes, I want to kick myself in the ass because Harriet Jones. But, yes, so they get there, he's bitten, Shaun tries to tell me you have to let him go, but she doesn't want to go without him, so they take off, and they go, and they get Liz, and her roommate, and the roommate's boyfriend, David, who's a douchebag. He looks like John Lennon, though, so that's a plus for him, but otherwise he's a douchebag. I did want to point out something. And this is a major no for me. It's probably my only negative of the film because I really enjoy this film. But this is the only negative I have, and it's really a nitpick, and it's really a nitpick. But they're throwing record albums at these zombies, and they're going through this one. No, Purple Rain. No, the Batman soundtrack. Throw it. No, don't throw it. You do not throw the Batman soundtrack. And I find it very interesting you would throw the Batman soundtrack and not Purple Rain because they're both Prince. I'm just saying. Both Prince. But you do not throw the Batman soundtrack. That soundtrack should be in a Hall of Fame, should be in a that should be in a museum, as Indiana Jones would say. That's the soundtrack. Party man, gonna party like nobody can. Should be in a museum. A museum of natural history. Bing. So anyway, they drive off. They get there, and they're driving the roommate's car, and then they get there, and he sees that Philip's Jag, and something's gonna happen. He's like, "I'll stay with the car," and it's like, what is he gonna do? When they come out, he crashed it into a pole. Oh, I had a bit of a problem. You were parked! Oh, I guess we'll have to go in the Jag. Yeah, it's very obvious. He just wanted to drive the Jag, which he does, recklessly. And they go and they get Liz and her roommate and roommate's boyfriend. And then they make their way to the Winchester. However, Philip turns. He dies and turns into a zombie after saying that he did love Shaun like a son, and they had problems. As a guy who has had to deal with 2 stepfathers in his life, at least one of them have been decent to me. I'll tell you that much. We've butted heads, but he's been there for me. He's helped me out. So I gotta say, at least I have that, right? And this is what Philip is trying to do. And Bill Nighy's a great actor too, but he's not in this movie that long. But so yeah, they all jump out of the car and are forced to leave the Jag there, so they have to walk to the Winchester, and they have to act like they're zombies. They get there, but the whole place is blocked off. They gotta try to find a way to get in. Zombies realize they're not zombies, and so David makes a hasty decision to break through the window, but Shaun runs off. Zombies chasing him so they can get away. They block off the window, apparently, and then Shaun gets in through the back door. He goes, I tried to tell you, but you were too hasty. And, yeah, and so they're not safe. They make a joke that, David's yelling, I should be in charge. All he'll do is make us sit in the dark and eat peanuts. And so when Shaun gets back, they're like, okay, so what's the plan? And it hard cuts, or swish cuts, to them sitting there, anybody want any peanuts? And then Ed plays a stupid, noisy game that summons the zombies. Don't call them that. We don't use the Z word. What do I call them then? The undead creatures, I guess? I don't know. We don't use the Z word. So, yeah. So, my favorite part of the movie happens. One of the zombies breaks in, and this is played earlier, that the jukebox just plays randomly. So this jukebox goes off. It starts playing my favorite Queen song, "Don't Stop Me Now," which is fantastic. And they're hitting the zombie to the beat of the song, which is just funny. And there's even a part where like the mom and Liz are going like this to the beat, but they're telling, like they're choreographing their hits or whatever, like just get them, and they're going like this. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, 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 don't stop me. It is funny. Until he gets destroyed, the machine gets destroyed. But yeah, and I will note that this zombie that's attacking them is the same guy who played the disgruntled Carney in Bloody New Year. Oh yes, the movie that has "Take one boy, take one girl, add a little love, then you shake it up, shake it up. That's the recipe for romance. That's the recipe for romance." That movie, it's the same guy, and if I'm wrong, blame Dead Meat, he's the one who told me. Okay, I watched the kill count when it came out, so yes, so well, all hell breaks loose. Harriet, mom reveals that she was bitten because earlier we see she stops at, when they're running through the backyard, she stops at this house. She goes, "Is this where so and so lives?" And then when they come back, she's laying on the ground. She goes, "I don't think this is where they live." And then this zombie in a bathrobe comes after them, and then it's revealed that it bit her, and so she ends up dying. And they're trying to make a decision as to what they should do, but it takes too long, and she comes back as a zombie, and Shaun is forced to shoot her. It's a sad moment. There are a couple of good sad moments, not good, but a couple of sad moments in here that work really well. I think Edgar Wright did a very good job. You have to shoot your own mom after she's turned to a zombie. We don't use the Z word. After she turned. But yeah, it just... Damn. And this is where everything breaks down, because David has had enough with Shaun, and he tries to shoot him with the gun, but there's no shell in it. And so he says, "Okay, I'm out." But he changes his mind just before the zombies break in, grab him, eat all of his insides, and tear his head off, which is practical effects. Always practical effects. They look fantastic. And so that Diane decides, "I'm going to go save you, David," but he's dead. But she jumps up there. We don't see her again, so we can assume she's dead? Question mark. I don't remember if Dead Meat counted her. If he said something, I'm going to watch the kill count again after this, but I don't know. I'm assuming she's dead. Oh, I do want to point out, when they're on their way to the Winchester, they come across this group. And the group is pretty much the same group. You have this friend of Shaun's, Yvonne, and she's got her boyfriend, who is dressed just like Liz, Manley, her mom, a couple of friends that are dressed just like Diane and David, and then her brother-in-law or something, who's dressed like Ed. They all look the same. They're all doing the same thing. It's an identical group. And so yeah, zombies start to break into the pub because they followed Shaun. They start breaking in, and this just leaves our three left. But Ed is attacked and he's bit, and the three gather behind the bar and find a way down to the basement. But Ed stays behind to defend himself because he's going to turn anyway, and they're going to, I think this takes from the Dawn of the Dead ending, the original one, where they're going to shoot each other, but then find a way out because they tried to start the helicopter, it doesn't work. I think, I haven't watched the original Dawn of the Dead, so I wouldn't know, but I think that's how it ends. I watched the kill count, so I think that's how it ends, where they're going to shoot each other, but then they get the helicopter started. Well, they're going to shoot each other, they're enjoying a cigarette, going to enjoy a cigarette because they quit smoking, but she took his pack. They threw it in the bin. They're going to light it. They notice a button, which is obvious. They go up top, and it looks like they're about to fight their way through zombies. there's a goodbye between Ed and Shaun, who have had problems, but because Ed's sort of a deadbeat roommate. He just sits there, plays video games, doesn't do anything, doesn't pay rent, just sits on the couch, lives there sort of on the couch. So they kind of make amends, and then they take off, they go to the thing, and about the fight. And then the army comes in, or the military, whatever, and just shoots the fuck out of these zombies. And among these military people are Yvonne, who appears to be the only person left in her group. And I had a thought for a second. It's like, I remember when I first watched this, my thought was, oh, Liz was bit. Because, everything mirrors, the groups mirror each other. So if Yvonne's the only one left, that means her boyfriend was bit and didn't make it. So my thought process when I first watched this was Liz bit? But then we find out she wasn't. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. If she was just the only survivor, if her boyfriend's still in a vehicle somewhere, I don't know. I really don't know. But yes, and we find out that life has somewhat gone back to normal. The zombies are now used as pets, basically. And Shaun and Liz are living together. And then he goes out to the garden and he has a creature-fied Ed playing video games. And yeah, so he's going to keep enjoying his life. He's got Ed as a pet, sort of, which he does like a monkey impression. And there is this running joke at the beginning where he's like, I'm sorry, Shaun. It's okay. No, I'm sorry, Shaun. Oh, that's not funny. I'll stop doing them and you stop laughing. And then at the end, where they're not to like say goodbye, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Shaun. I'm sorry too." It's like, I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry too. It's okay. No, I mean, I'm sorry, Shaun. Oh, that's not funny. I'll stop doing them and you stop laughing. They have a good rapport with each other. Overall, this movie is really good. I don't really have any complaints with it. I think the whole David thing, I don't know. I can't really complain about that either because David's a dick. He deserved what he got. I think it was all handled pretty well. The only thing that I disagree with is destroying the Batman soundtrack. You don't do that. Other than that, when it comes to Shaun of the Dead, I have to say that it's going to go to the moon because it is perfect in my mind. Some people might find problems with it, but it's a fantastic film. The actors do a great job. The director does a great job with all the cuts and the talking and the dialogue and stuff. It's fantastic. So, what are your thoughts on Shaun of the Dead? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.